What is going on, guys? CrowShow coming at you with another little movie review. So how you guys doing? So by the look of my hat, you already know what I'm going to be reviewing today. That's right, I'm going to be reviewing the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. Because I went to go see it like 2 or 3 days ago, if I'm remembering correctly, because today's it's the 26th. So it was 2 days ago, it was my birthday. Went to go see it with my friends and family, and it was an amazing film right off the bat. I'm just going to tell you right now, it was freaking fun as hell. I loved it. I just wanted to make a review on this because I know that's what I planned on doing in the first place. Next video you're going to see of another review is going to be on the Jessica Jones series off of Netflix, and so on and so forth. And there's going to be a couple of vlogs finally, so you're going to be able to see more of me and my friends fucking around and stuff like that. So that's going to be fun to look forward to. But regardless, let's go ahead and get into the review. It's going to be half of the freaking video is going to be spoiler free, and the other half is going to be spoilers. So I will announce spoiler in this video by the time we get there. So let's get started. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie is directed by Dean Israelite. If I'm saying that correctly, if I'm not, oh well, who cares? Well, I mean, some people care, but you know, not a lot of people do care. But yep, we got Dean, who was the director of this movie, and then we have the company production of Lionsgate also helping fund it and whatnot. So this movie actually came together pretty damn well. So anyways, we have the cast of the Power Rangers, which we have some really new faces to the Power Rangers saga and whatnot with these new actors and such, and then a couple of old actors that voice acted and or acted before. Being in this movie and play really big roles to the Power Ranger franchise in general. And then we also have some old faces from the old Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, and we're going to get into that soon, but let's just go ahead and get off on the cast right off the bat. Naomi Scott, who plays as Kimberly, who was one of my favorite female Power Rangers since the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I fell in love with Kimberly as soon as I saw her on the original Power Rangers, and then when I saw this Kimberly, it was no different from being as emotionally attached to this one as it was with the old one. As soon as I locked eyes with her, she was just beautiful, gorgeous. Her performance was phenomenal. I loved her to death. She was just spunky and rebellious, and I loved it. It was fan-fucking-tastic. And then we have Decree Montgomery. If I'm saying that incorrectly, I'm sorry. He plays as Jason, who is the Red Ranger from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It took me a while because I'm so used to Rocky being the Red Ranger for so long. I forgot that Jason at one point was the Red Ranger before him. So when they said Jason, I was kind of confused because I was like, wait, I thought it was Rocky, and then I forgot. Rocky kind of came in during the second season, if I'm correct. And then eventually his Power Ranger color started changing once we got even more into the Power Ranger series and stuff. And then things started changing and whatnot and stuff like that. But pretty much, Decree plays as Jason, as the Red Ranger. He was very good at his role. I thought his role as a jock was really well done. Freaking awesome, well done performance on his half, so good job on that. And then we have the beautiful Elizabeth Banks, who plays as Rita in the movie, who was also the original Rita from back in 1997 or 78, however long Power Rangers goes back. She plays a really good role as Rita, especially with the new gen looking kind of look. I thought it was great. I like how they actually talked about how she used to wield the power of the Green Ranger, which is actually true. If you remember watching from when they introduced the Green Ranger, when Tommy came into the picture, she did wield that power, but I don't think she wielded it the way that they explained it in the movie, but I think they did it pretty damn similar to the actual Rita and how she actually did have the power of the Green Ranger at one point. So that was really good on her part. I thought she did really good at the Rita role. Like, wow, it was really well done. And then we got Ludi Lin as Zach in the Power Rangers, and he plays as the Black Ranger, which a lot of people remember from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. There was an Asian Black Power Ranger, so I think that was his name, but sometimes I keep thinking that it was another Jason, but it could be wrong. It might be Zach. I have to recheck just to be sure, but he did really well on his part. He's more the upbeat and hyped up Power Ranger kind of type of guy who's always just running his mouth with his ass and stuff like that. And it was really well done on his part. I love that. I love how the Black Ranger suit looked. It was freaking cool. Black Ranger is probably one of my favorite Power Rangers out there, but not as much as the White and Green Ranger. Any Special Ranger that was ever out there in any of the Power Ranger series, I love to death. And then we got the first ever female homosexual actor, Becky G. Becky G is a gorgeous woman. Fantastic at what she did in her role as a Power Ranger, and definitely I did not see one thing coming. Once we get into the spoiler of that, her role as the Yellow Ranger was freaking amazing, and especially how she just looks and all out on the screen. Her eyes just glow in the dark. Her smile is fantastic. Her personality being the more silent type and not really wanting to talk about her life as much until somebody asks her about it, and then she's more than happy to be open to it, is very well done. Her parents are really not as accepting of her. being who she is, which is homosexual in the movie. So pretty much the truth in the reality behind the screen is pretty true, because she is homosexual in a way, and now she's homosexual in the movie. So it's like, why stop it there? If everybody remembers from the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the very first Billy, who was white, was gay in real life behind the screen. He got a lot of shit and harassment for that and stuff like that, and it was ridiculous because I don't see why people made a big deal about that and almost nearly had Billy commit suicide, which was awful on his part, but he did not quit. He kept playing the role as the Blue Ranger as best to his ability until the harassment stopped, and eventually it did. This girl is no different from Billy because she is still fighting for her right to show everybody that she is just an actress. She loves the franchise. She just wants everybody to love it as much as she does. And you know what? That's exactly what happened. She showed so much commitment into her character, and the entire audience who was judging her on being homosexual, that there shouldn't be a homosexual Power Ranger anymore, well, she kind of messed them up real good, because now she is getting a lot more prop than what she got before, because now she's got the big community of people who are different from others, that are not straight and or homosexual, bisexual, transsexual, whatever it is. She's making a big impact on that group, and you know what? I respect that. Good job on you, Becky. R.J. Kyler, who plays as Billy, who is a black Billy, who plays as the Blue Ranger. This guy is just freaking hilarious through the entire film. He's a little dork that everybody remembers from the original Billy, from the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. He doesn't really know how to defend himself. He's always been picked on his whole life. And then all of a sudden, his life starts changing once he finds the crystals to the Power Rangers and morphers and stuff like that. And he finds himself with the friends that he really loves and cares about now. And he learns that the true meaning of getting into your morphing is to come together, and he was the first one to realize that as soon as he was the first Power Ranger to morph. I thought Billy's character was really well done. He was more of the comedic relief of the film, so that way it wasn't as dark as people thought it was going to be when we first heard about this movie. This was really well done with Billy part. I thought it was great, freaking funny, loved it. Well done. Then we have the famous Bryan Cranston, who plays as the dad in Malcolm in the Middle, if you remember him. He's also played a lot of other movies as well as that one, but most people won't know him as Malcolm in the Middle's dad. So he plays as Zordon, which took me by surprise. And then when I heard that he was really excited for this role and he was going to take it as serious as possible, I had nothing but respect for the man. And then when I saw it on the big screen, it was well done. Because Zordon, when he first met the Power Rangers, he was a little uneasy with how it was children who take the power of the morphers, but he didn't expect it, like in the original. He didn't really expect what to think, but he gave them a chance, and he had them unlock their potential with becoming the Power Rangers, and they did not fail one bit. And last but not least, we have Bill Hader, who plays as Alpha 5. Alpha 5 was one of my favorite Power Ranger companions. Going through the whole timeline of companions of Power Rangers, Alpha 5 was the number one for me, especially with saying "ay, ay, 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 ay." I love that, and especially this new take on Alpha and how he looks is more robotic and alien. I love that. That was really cool. I thought that was really cool, and how sarcastic he is still to this day, being really worried about how it's going to turn out with the world in the balance. It was still really good. Still Alpha 5. I loved it. And when I saw that they had the toy of Alpha, I thought that was really cool. It seems like they did a really good job making Alpha. Everything Alpha out there now with this new Power Rangers movie is fantastic. This was by far the coolest thing I've seen by far. Now I was going to go into a little bit of a spoiler. If you remember who the Green Ranger and or White Ranger was, and or Red Ranger and or Black Ranger was from Dino Thunder, Zeo, and Mighty Morphin twice, then you already know who I'm talking about. That's right, I am talking about Tommy, aka Jason Frank. Jason Frank is a legend through the Power Rangers series. I loved him since I first saw him in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and then when he became into Zeo and Turbo and Dino Thunder, I saw him all over the place, and then when the newest Power Rangers came out, Megaforce, he came back as the Green Ranger to do a giant battle scene with all the Power Rangers from all over the world. And it was amazing. I thought it was a fantastic freaking idea. They had Jason Frank and the girl who plays as Kimberly. I always just call her Kimberly, because I think that's actually her name is Kimberly, if I'm remembering correctly. Anyways, they were both in the movie set, and they were on the ground with all the people in the city, who were seeing the Megazords go at it with Goldar and stuff like that, and they showed up there in their cameo and stuff like that, taking pictures, taking selfies of the Megazord. I freaked out as soon as I saw both of them together again. It was like back when they were first dating in the Power Rangers series, and it made me almost cry. I wanted to cry. And now as we get more into the film, it becomes more exciting, and the action sequences are just fantastic, and the animation's fantastic, the acting's fantastic, just the whole film around is just mind-blowing me, and I'm smiling, I'm going crazy, I'm laughing with my friends and stuff like that. We're just having a good time. This movie was nothing but fun. It was a great movie. I never had so much fun in a movie in my life, and the way how it ended was 10 times worth the freaking money. I loved it. Okay, now that we got through with the non-spoiler review, let's go ahead and get into the spoiler review. Right off the bat, as soon as we get introduced to the characters when they're first making ever crimes with what they do, one of them has a mom that's dying, one of them is getting in detention and used to be a really hyped up cheerleader, which is Kimberly, and then the jock was all ready to get into scholarship and stuff like that, and he's letting down his dad after trying to put in their mascot cow into the other school's property, and then getting arrested after pretty much doing a hit and run with a cop. Which is Jason, by the way, if you haven't noticed. We have a bunch of different stories on the Power Rangers and why they became the little outlaws that they are compared to the original, which they weren't. Now, I thought that was really well creative, given the fact that every hero has a rough start, so it always matters on that rough start if they get on the horse and they become the Power Ranger that they were meant to be, and they do. As soon as they see Zordon on the wall, after Zordon has shown that he is hiding the crystals when he's getting attacked by Rita, when Earth, before it was anywhere near what it was before, he's defending the crystals from Rita because Rita is wielding the power of the Green Ranger, and she's taking the power to a whole new level with Goldar, and Zordon needs new people to fulfill this destiny, and he did not expect a bunch of teenagers to take the wield of the Power Rangers into their own hands. He doubted them, he trained them, he doubted them, he really doubted them, and he told them that the only reason he's trying to get them to morph and be the Power Rangers is so he can take the energy off of them so he can come back and do it right. Zordon apparently before was a Ranger, and I didn't know that, but then I thought about it a little bit, and it does make sense. Apparently Zordon at one point, when he had his squad of Rangers, he was the original Red Ranger. So when he realized that there couldn't be more than one Red Ranger and Jason stood Zordon, he told him that we might not be perfect, but you have to give us a shot. You gotta help us. And Zordon didn't like it at first, but then he gave it a shot once he had the ability to come into the world and become the Red Ranger. Billy nearly died because his run-in with Rita and the Power Rangers 2 nearly killed him without the power of the Power Ranger armor. And they needed that in order to go up against her, and they didn't have it, so they went up against her, and Billy pretty much died. And Zordon gave up his one chance to come into the world and gave Billy back his life. And as soon as that happened, the Power Rangers came together and got their suits on and went out and fought the Putties. The Putty people I thought was really well done in how they looked in this movie, because in the Mighty Morphin they were just a bunch of guys in spandex suits with rocky hands and face masks. I love how they made them look. They actually came out of the ground. They look like a bunch of things, like from Fantastic Four things. I love how they started fighting those guys, giving them drop kicks and stuff like that, bringing out swords and stuff. It was freaking awesome. And Goldar, I did not expect to be absolutely freaking amazing looking, as freaking melted gold and stuff like that. And I love how Rita is using the Green Ranger Power Crystal as her wielding weapon to take out the Power Rangers, which gives you a really good feel that there is something going on there. As soon as the Power Rangers take on Goldar and a bunch of putties in their Megazords, right off the bat, as soon as they run out of the mountain of the secret lair with Zordon, the original Power Rangers theme from 1990s plays with the Megazords running across the horizon, and it made me cry. I was so happy. It was like being a little kid watching that show for the first time. When I first watched it, it was fantastic. And as soon as the war scene started happening with the Megazords and the putties and Goldar were happening, it was so emotionally driven and action packed that when the Megazords came together as one to make the big Megazord, oh man, it rocked my world, and I loved the hell out of it. And that's when we got introduced to Jason, Frank, and Kimberly, and now the Power Rangers have finally known that this is their purpose in life, and this is what they have to do after defeating Rita. And now they're back in school, and they're just having a good time. Then they figured out that their symbol is going to be the lightning bolt that everybody knows and loves from the original Power Rangers. But after the movie is completely over, there is a post-credit ending. showing the detention room one more time and the teacher yelling out Tommy, which is the name of Jason Frick's Tommy from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and shows a jacket that Tommy used to wear in the original, green, and leaving us with a pretty much, yes, we are going to be making another Power Ranger movie, and Tommy is coming into it. I was so excited to see that Jason Frank was there and to see that my theory that the Green Ranger ending was going to be the post-credit thing. It made me so happy and worth going to see again because I love Tommy. Tommy has been my favorite Power Ranger since he turned into the Green Ranger and then the White Ranger. He was just my favorite all-time Power Ranger in this series. And when I saw that he was coming back, I was so freaking excited and happy at the same time. So, let's just go ahead and get into the rating now, if I hadn't gotten into the rating before. The rating that I'm going to give the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers reboot movie, whatever you want to call it, I don't even think it's so much of a reboot. Let's just call it a reboot for right now. I'm going to give this reboot a fucking 10 out of fucking 10 just because it was so freaking fun. The whole entire movie. Loved it. Worth it. Go see it if you haven't seen it. If you're a really big Power Ranger fan, it is worth going to see. You will not be disappointed whatsoever. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys in the next review for Jessica Jones and the next couple of vlog videos which are going to be coming out in a little bit. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.